At the beginning of the story, the protagonist, aka the Freelancer, was working with Halcyon, but by the end of it, they're working for Phoenix. The theories that explain this can be divided into two groups: theories in which the protagonist was a double agent to begin with, and theories in which something caused the protagonist to switch sides. Although the first possibility is more often discussed, today we're focusing on the second possibility. Before I go on, I'm going to give credit where it's due. This theory was made by the Discord user Joseph Stalin on my Discord server. I have a few additions and changes of my own, but the theory as a whole isn't mine. The Rose is a double agent theory isn't new, but it has a lot going for it. First, there's the Black Dawn. In the Black Dawn, Jackdaw chose not to kill Rose. We know because he only shot her twice, while the other operatives were shot 3 times. He could have killed her if he wanted to, yet he didn't. While this doesn't prove Rose is a double agent, it does suggest she is. There is more evidence of this theory in the Withdrawal. There's a line in which Jackdaw says, "Rose is missing out." It seems odd for Jackdaw to make a reference unless Rose is working for Phoenix. You wouldn't talk that way about an enemy operative, especially if your series is Jackdaw. I believe the protagonist is a somewhat misunderstood character. Some claim that they only care about money, and that they join Phoenix simply because they pay more. When we're first introduced to the protagonist, they seem rather blunt, but it isn't the same later on in the story. The protagonist has a reserved personality, which is why they appear blunt, but they also have a somewhat considerate side. This is especially seen in their relationship with Rose. If you read their conversation with Rose in the Black Site, you can see that Rose is somewhat rude and pushy, while the protagonist is calm and mild. When they ask for her name, she says they will never get it. However, in Critical, Rose is more open and tells them her name. Shishato released Critical right after the Black Site to show us how the protagonist's friendship with Rose has changed. It's a significant change over time that can be seen by reading the conversations. According to the original theory, Halcyon finds out Rose is a double agent during the Lake House. This may or may not be true. What is true, however, is that Halcyon knows by the time dedication happens. Here's how the main theory goes. In this cutscene, the protagonist must prove the dedication to Halcyon by taking out Rose, a double agent. However, when they confront Rose, she convinces them not to take her out. They refuse to kill Rose because of their friendship with her, such as giving her the Raven. Thus, the protagonist sides with Rose rather than Halcyon. This next part of the theory has 2 possibilities. According to the original theory, a Halcyon sniper, possibly Ren, manages to shoot Rose. Rose dies, or at least the protagonist believes she dies. Hence, the protagonist hates Halcyon for killing their friend and decides to destroy Halcyon by joining Phoenix. Using a lead from Rose, they find Phoenix and take part in the Withdrawal, which is an attack against Halcyon's bank. The second scenario is that Rose doesn't die. In this scenario, the protagonist chooses to join Phoenix and safely leaves with Rose. It's not the shock of Rose's death, but their friendship with Rose that causes the switch. While Rose dying is more dramatic, there's no proof that Rose dies in dedication, and the theory can stand even if Rose lives. The idea of Rose's death stems from an old line in the Withdrawal, in which Jackdaw claimed that Rose would be proud. However, when people interpreted the line as announcing Rose's death, Sish changed it to, "Rose is missing out." This was to prevent people from misinterpreting the original line. Sish has made it clear that Rose is his favorite character. While Rose's death is technically possible, due to Sish's actions and the new line in the Withdrawal, it's very unlikely. Overall, this is one of the best entry point theories I've seen so far. There's a few parts where I thought of alternate possibilities or uncertainty. Regardless, the theory as a whole is firm, and it seems increasingly likely.